I really want Jimmy to knock into a wine glass and like spill it all over the board, and then everyone just yells at Jimmy like, "Jimmy, why? Why, Jimmy?"
I'm so very excited about the fact that this just happened.
I don't know what's going on. Daniel just hand fived Jimmy. I think they're on a team. Maybe they're playing together, red and green together. They're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles team, taking over the world, just trying to conquer the board one random building at a time. I don't know what this game is, so.
I do want to know. I'm very intrigued by this. We've been looking at this game for like a half hour, and I want to know the rules now.
I'm most concerned at the fact that Daniel's wine glass is so empty. Like, I don't understand why. Really they're trying to be like, hey guys, we're having such a fun time, and then his glass is empty for like 4 hours. Finally, they fill this damn thing. I felt like he was trying to be Mother Teresa over there, trying to like save his weight and all that stuff.
I mean, he traveled, this whole way just to be here, and then no one even gave him some wine.
I mean, board games without alcohol is just boring. So I think they're just trying to be Swedish polite, They're at Neil's probably, and they're trying to be like, let's not take all of Neil's wine, because...
I'm just assuming Daniel already upper decked his toilet, so it's already...
Oh, yeah. Upper decked 1,000,000%. You can't upper deck toilets in all of Europe. You know this, Brad. Some of the toilets have the deck so high up that you'd have to like poop from the ceiling to get it into the deck. No, it's not the best. So, but anyways, this game is going well. I'm really enjoying watching these guys. These guys play through. You know what I love about board games? The amount of Ziploc bags you need.
Well, it's gamer board games too, especially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they have all of the pieces all of the time.
Do you remember what I used to transport my orcs in?
All Ziploc bags, my friend. I remember this completely.
Yeah, it was the best. I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't think he realizes how cameras work. He's like, hey, bro, I know you got a camera on your camera. Let me put a camera on that camera so I can show you a screen on the screen.
It's Inception.
Screenception.
Screenception. I do want to know, has anybody ever actually finished a game of Monopoly? Or has it always been somebody rage quit and leaves?
Yeah, you just punch your aunt in the boob when you land on Park Place. Like, fuck you, Tina. I'm out of here. And it's over, That's typical. I love how everyone has different rules for Monopoly too. So like I don't play like the standard Monopoly because it takes forever. I have no idea even how to play that one. Because, like, do you just barter at some point? Like, so, like, the standard Monopolies, you have to own all of the same color in order to even buy or build a house. So, like, the beginning game for, like, $15 a rent, $6 a rent, $20 a rent, it's like a joke. You start off with, like, so much money that it doesn't make any sense. And then, like, it would take forever for someone to go bankrupt and then, like, lose their property or mortgage it. So, like, what do? Do you just, like, barter? Like, hey, I have 2 oranges. I'll give you...
definitely got to barter.
Give you my 1 green for your 1 orange. Is that what? But then just like friends win then, right? Like 2 friends that's kind of
you taunt your opponents after.
I don't like that. I don't like that way of playing. I like this. This is how I play Monopoly. It's pretty stupid actually. Now that I think about it, you could buy any property you want. If you get a set, if you get all 3, then you double all the rents. So all the rents are double. All the houses, the hotels, everything is double. You own Park Place and Boardwalk. Boardwalk becomes a $4,000 night visit, right? Because your customer satisfaction is at its limits because you own all the blues, right? But if you land on your own property, regardless of if you own all of them or one of them, if you land on your own property after buying it on a previous turn, you can build 1 house. If you already have a house, you can build a second. And if you have 4 houses, you can then make a hotel. But you have to land on your own property. That makes the game more interesting.
That makes it so random and long. What do you guys play, like 7-hour games?
No, it'd be way faster than the whole barter system. Way faster. Because, like, you get 1 guy or 2 guys or 3 guys, they get a little lucky, land in their own place a couple of times. All of a sudden, they got 2, 3 houses. You got that at Marvin Gardens? Pfft, Marvin's making some cash.
Marvin's Gardens.
Yeah, Marvin's Gardens is a good spot. I think there's a 40K Monopoly board too, by the way. I think so. Did you ever see that?
I have not. I've played the Star Wars one.
I think there's a 40K one, which I'm surprised about, actually. I'm surprised Games Workshop did that or allowed that to happen. So what's up, Chester?
Apparently, Daniel has spilled 3 glasses of wine.
Oh, Daniel spills too much wine
on the train.
I've made friends in my life who spill wine in my garage and all over the place as well, so I can relate.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And break glasses, so that's a thing.
I didn't actually spill the wine. I feel that I broke the glass, and the problem was after that the glass did not hold the wine anymore. Well, yeah. I don't think I spilled it. I just broke the glass.
Well, we'll see. We'll get some wine at Motor City, and we'll give it to you, and we'll see how much of it ends up on the floor.
I would say I'm confident that I can not spill at least for one night.
We should get a board game. We should do a board game night at Motor City and then call Daniel and make him feel left out that he's not at our board game.
We'll do that. 100%.
I think we should do this. This is a must do. We just message him from 2 independent phones, make him answer both calls, and then we just show him, hey, by the way, we're having a great time without you also. Fuck you, Daniel. Yeah.
So, I got to submit a list. 2 lists.
We both have to submit a list. Assuming I'm still going, I have to submit a list too.
So let's talk about this. We have to submit lists for the Motor City Mayhem Deathmatch 3000 40K Championships of the Universe. I'm almost positive that is the name of the tournament.
Yeah, that sounds right. That's what I saw. They indented it on the flyer. Kind of came down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just says Mayhem on that, but the real name is the formal name is that. I'm pretty sure I got my list down 100%, and I was 100% what I wanted to bring with Kramer and I going to the team tournament. And then I realized that, oh yeah, we only have 2 detachments, and they have a kind of like Adepticon does. They had a weird specific team tournament detachment that you could take.
Yeah.
And I had to fit everything into those. You know what I mean? And then of course make each player have 1,000. And making the army is not as hard as trying to fit them into specific 1,000 point each.
That's always that's always one of the main problems of Adepticon, right? You got to figure out how can I fit not only from a points perspective, but from a detachment slot perspective. How do I also make that work? So yeah, that's common. What's the detachment for the team? Is it normal, like 1 HQ, 3 troops, 1 fast, 1 heavy, 1 elite, and like 1 floater?
Well, you can take literally you get a total of 3 detachments basically. Each person gets 1, and then one of them gets one of the floater ones.
Oh wow! Okay.
Which is called the core detachment. It's 1 to 2 HQ, 1 to 3 troops, and then 1 of everything else: elite, fast attack, heavy support, flyers. Oh. And it costs 0 CP.
Okay.
So I ended up taking 1 of those and 2 patrols. So I was down 4 CP.
Okay, cool.
Dark Eldar list.
Cool.
So, but I really got everything, pretty much the exact list that I'm taking in singles. I put in the team almost 100% in. You know what I mean? It's just basically we'll have less CP.
Yep.
Just because of the way that it goes in. You don't get the three patrols for 0 kind of deal. So we'll lose a little CP, but we have the same basic army, which I'm happy with, and I'm happy with what I'm going to submit for Dark Eldar. I'm pretty excited about that also. I think that you
don't have many reps with them though. Are you concerned with that? I mean, 5 round GT. Yeah, there's going to be people there with like white scars with a ton of reps, salamanders, ton of reps, potentially Dark Angels with a ton of reps, potentially.
I've been putting in a lot of games with this right away. Sue, I'm hoping that's enough.
The dinosaur.
So when I tell everybody what not to do, then I do it completely, of course, which is play something that. God, this is going to be so much. I'm going to copy and paste this here.
You're pasting the exact list already in the chat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, share it. I didn't realize you had the whole thing done. Yeah, it's gigantic because you're playing like super MSU.
Yeah.
Dark Eldar.
I took everything.
You're like, what's min? Oh, that's min? Cool. All of that. Yes.
I did switch over. I went a Cabal of Poison Tongue because I thought that the yes, exactly. The rerolls would be pale in comparison to the ability to redeploy. And the the strat for Poison Tongue is a redeploy strat for 2, and it lets you put 3 things into reinforcements for basically no point. You pay the 2 CP, and it doesn't matter how much you have on the board. So I could literally, if the terrain's bad or we're having a bad matchup, we go second. I'll take 3 full raiders and put them in reinforcements.
Yep.
So and the thing is that I think people underestimate the size of a Dark Eldar force because raiders are just so long and they have that ridiculous fin on them that shoots up.
Yep.
And I got 2 units of Hellions, which just take up a lot of space. They're 32 mils, but they're also just got those fins on them that shoot out to each side, so they're difficult to deploy. So the army does take a significant amount of space up. So having the ability to just put things the hell off the board.
Would it be possible to put like 3 characters, 3 units, and 3 raiders on the board? That's like 9 things. And then you put another 9 things in reserves, right? Let's say, right? And then you go use that strat and you pick up all 3 of the raiders. Yeah. And your whole army is off the board until turn 2.
There's no limit to basically the things you could put in reserve at that point.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, because there's no more boots on the ground rule, right? That doesn't exist. And hypothetically, if you did have like 9 units off, 9 units on, and like the characters were in the transports, the squads were in the transports, and you had 3 raiders on, you just pick up those 3 raiders, and based on the strat, my understanding is that it doesn't matter for your overall number of units on the board. You just put them in reserve, and that's it. You're off the board. Your whole army's beta strike.
You could put a ton of stuff, yeah. Well, they become in regular reinforcements itself, which is better because you can't be they can't box you out. I mean, it'd suck because you'd have to start like in combat basically.
Yeah. They come on 6 inches from the board edge.
Right.
But they can come on any board, not your opponent's back edge, but they can come on any board edge technically, right?
Right, but the only thing, the places that you can't be denied are your own board edge. Right. Yeah. It doesn't. You don't have to respect the 9 inches away.
Yeah, but you do have to place without 1 inch, right?
No, you can. If they box it all the way off, you basically you can start in combat with somebody.
Okay.
You can just come out and just be in
combat. In close
only
combat.
On your board edge with that.
What happens if this wouldn't apply for Dark Eldar. This might not apply for anything. I'm just curious though now that I'm thinking about it. If someone were to totally block off that entire board edge,
you literally start an engagement range with them.
But what if you don't have fly and they blocked it off to the point where your base can't fit on the board?
But you basically count as engagement.
Okay.
You just come in and
absolutely no way to stop it. Got it.
Yeah. They basically made it so that you can always bring your models in.
Got it. I wonder if Jimmy's losing in this board game at Neil's place, because I think by far Jimmy's the most excited about the podcast right now. He keeps looking over. It's like what are these guys doing? It's like what are they doing over there?
But this is I'm excited to go full MSU, by the way. Also, I'm excited about the Dark Eldar. I have been getting in reps. I've been doing Brad Nerd stuff, which is me looking over the cards.
Brad Nerd stuff. We need to get a button for that.
And I'm hoping that a dude I know has time for some 3x5 cards for me. So otherwise, I'm just going to make index cards because I like having the stuff right there for me.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Wayne's World.
I'm excited. Yeah, it's 5 rounds, right? Oh, what'd you just do?
Yep.
You vanished for a second. Oh, you're back now.
Sometimes I leave and then I come back.
Come back. Baby, come back. No, I like the list. I'm excited. I'm probably going to just play something more fun. Probably something very similar to what I played at Glass City. Just because I'm going to help you kind of make a display board and get your models together for Dark Eldar. So I probably won't have time to like build something else. And I definitely don't feel like playing Dark Eldar. I think I'm starting to go the opposite direction of MSU. I want like less things, less units, less movement. Like just like do less. Roll more.
I do like having 1 million units. MSU is my shit.
Yeah. I like having fewer units.
Kurt in chat actually made a good point because I actually thought about this a little bit. He's curious if anybody will go full out and spam just all of the the racks with the liquefiers and stuff. And that's a legit thing though. You know what I mean? They are pretty durable. They are OBSEC, you know what I mean? Take like a battalion basically of racks take 6 raiders, and it can have 2 squads apiece inside of them.
Yeah, Cal was talking about that in my local area. He was talking about just spamming liquefier guns and racks. Daniel last week was talking about spamming Chronoses and Taloses. He's like, just take 19 or 18, like 3 squads of 3.
I do like the idea of racks and stuff. Yeah, the Death Guard -1, it would be a tough match, but you're looking at volume at that point in time, which is why I think that the MSU version is just better. That's why almost always I don't like all-in armies on one trick, one unit, one type. You know what I mean? Because you're always going to need the ability to do something else.
I should just do that for Kurt. See how it goes. Be like, Kurt, I'm going to run this list for you. Here's full spam liquefier guns. Let's see what happens. Is the weakest of all in my opinion.
Right now. They just don't seem to. For the bang for your buck, you can get so much more.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely the weakest, but maybe the most fun to paint and play. Those are some fun ass models. Do it, Kurt. Send me the list that you're thinking. Like, what's the max? So what is the max amount of liquefier guns and racks you can take?
I mean, you could do.
Like, what's realistic to fit in? What's realistic to fit in an actual 2,000 point army?
Dude, it's only 60 points for 5-man units, though. You know what I mean? 5-man unit with 2 liquefiers, one on the Acathist, one regular.
Yeah.
Only 60 points.
But you're putting them in Venoms, though, right?
Yeah. So basically, you got 210.
So it's
210. Basically, a raider with 10 guys inside is 210 points.
Okay, so 210 points. So what's the maximum? Like,
I mean, you could spam the shit out of that.
Yeah, you could spam it. How much though? Like, you can probably take 2, 4.
I mean, take six raiders and 12 squads and double battalion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can't get 10. So you can maybe get 8 of them. Eight of them. So 16 squads. That's possible, right?
I mean, yeah. If you're
triple patrol. So
triple patrol, you can go. That'd be 9.
Yeah,
which is still pretty decent. That's still 6 rides.
Then fill with incubi. Yeah, that makes sense.
I love it. Adam goes, ultimate success equal making your opponent miserable.
Yeah. So you could take 9 squads. That's like five raiders, right? And then you could fill the last one in. But like 5 raiders if you really wanted to.
That much, man. That's literally fucking 1,000 points there. You know what I mean? Then the incubi. You have.
But he's kind of right though. You do want a witch cult, right?
Well, the witches are super nice, and the fact you need a cult of strife.
So you're not taking 9 anymore. You're taking 7.
Well, I mean, you can also mix and match. You could take a real space raider and then a patrol or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You take a real space raider and just take 6 right there.
That's true.
So I mean, there's lots of different just options.
Yeah, Kurt, write it up. I'm curious.
Grots with liquefiers cost too much, and you lose your hand-to-hand mojo off it. So that's why I don't.
Oh yeah, grotesques.
Yeah. They just cost too much.
Yeah, they're much more expensive.
Yeah, they lose their cleave, and they cost a ton. I'd rather just take 8-point models and just have a zillion of them. You just have an option. Basically, Dark Eldar is just super, super good right now at having a billion threats. They basically do. They feel like faster sisters. You know what I mean? They can trade up all the time. They can go after things. They have a ton of speed. They do shenanigans basically, and they die very easily to small arms fire basically. So
yeah,
the very similar style in Sisters as in excuse me, Dark Eldar. Dark Eldar are just hauling ass, and Sisters get the cheat basically. So they get to do it.
I know you're bringing Dark Eldar, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Dark Eldar don't win Motor City.
Now you're just hurting my feelings because I'm definitely winning this tournament because I'm angry about flopping it up at Glass City and losing a game.
I don't see it. I don't see Dark Eldar taking it the first time out of the gate. I think it's I don't see it. I don't know. I see Dark Eldar having. I think actually the way you've pivoted is very smart, and I see a lot of scenarios in which the terrain could be a problem for you going second with Dark Eldar, and I think the way you're pivoting is very smart because I think a lot of Dark Eldar players that do show up to the tournament maybe won't make the same decision that you did, and they'll get on a board and they'll basically blame terrain not going first. So that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, you have to be. The thing is you have to put your army on the board. You know what I mean? You just have to do it, even if you're just doing it in like the TTS scenarios and stuff like that, just to see the size of it. Because like everything sounds great on the board. You're like, I'm going to take this big unit to this. I'm going to take these to this. And then you're like, everyone can see me. I've literally got a 5-inch tall sail shooting off my Raider, and also I have a 6-inch body basically.
Yeah, all the models are really big, as I know, because
Yeah, that is true. I'm actually terrified of AdMech. AdMech could blow a Dark Elder army off the board fairly quickly. You have to get on them like now.
yeah,
So
yeah, going second against AdMech could be a problem because even when you come in from reserves, they don't care. You know, they're fine. So
yeah, you're gonna need to get all up on that.
yeah. So if you have like a semi bad board, like a semi semi not obscuring terrain or not ruin, like solid ruin line of sight blocking piece, and then you're also going second against a decent AdMech player or a good AdMech list. That I think that could definitely be a problem. But I didn't see much AdMech at Glass City. Did you?
You never see that much AdMech. The army's cost prohibitive, so there's just not that many players. I think there'll be at least one though. Depends. Like Sarapata brings AdMech. He's got a great list. Good player. But like you just don't see a lot of players with AdMech just because of the fact that they recently became good. Say in eighth, and the army is the most expensive army in the game to collect. It's just ridiculous. Like actual money, not.
I have so much AdMech unbuilt. I should probably go build some of that.
I should just start selling it to people, flinging it out, making it rain.
Nah, I don't sell nothing anymore.
Abramovich style.
You know, I kind of started doing that a little bit, and then I regretted it instantly. Like I sold some stuff, and then I was like, "What did I sell that for? Like, what was the reason? Like, there was no point to sell that. It could have just sat here. I'd rather just keep shit in a box and never use it ever than give it to anyone for money." For money, I can give it to a friend or someone who's like interested in getting in the game. I have no problem. Like I give stuff to Malave all the time, and Tony Malave gives me stuff all the time, and I have no problem giving stuff to like Cal or Tyler Cooley or Kareem or anyone. If they ever want anything, they can have it. I gave Daniel 60 freaking grots, which actually I want those damn things back. Those things are awesome.
You say that a lot, but he's never
not grots, squigs. I'm well aware I'm never gonna get my squigs back, but I love those damn squigs. Those squigs are awesome. I don't feel like making more of them, but
I feel like
I have no problem giving away models. There's no reason to sell them.
I think that you're an Eastern European dragon that's just sitting on his giant hoard of plastic treasures.
Yeah, my wife would agree.
Breathing fire at anybody that tries to get into your lair.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Bro.
If I had any artistic talent whatsoever, I would immediately draw that picture. Can someone draw that for me? Alan, are you excited about the new orc models? There are decent amount of orc models that they just released.
Dude, I'm pumped about orcs in general. I really like the idea of them getting some T5. But the number one thing they need, and Daniel and I spoke about this, is it's just damage. Orcs need more damage. They had a heyday, like they had a glory period in 8th where the Ludas were kicking ass. The Flash Gits, in my opinion, were kicking ass. The Rockets were kicking ass. Everything was doing really well, and then all of a sudden Primaris came out, and then like more Primaris came out, and like everything started getting more wounds and like more damage, and but like orcs kind of got left behind a little bit. So they need damage for sure. That's like the biggest thing I think orcs need is just more reliable damage outside of shooting. Close combat damage is what they need. Like solid close combat damage.
Which is funny right now because orc shooting is still pretty good. Orc hand to hand is like which is weird because they're supposed to be known for all that.
Yeah, I think like on a WOG, like when you WOG, like with an orc unit, and if you make a charge, like if you declare your WOG, maybe it's once per game even, like there should be something that allows like all the boys go to D3 damage a piece or 2 damage flat or something like that, or better rend, or just the ability to get through and actually do something. Because right now they don't do anything. What are you making that face for? Did we get a comment? I don't know. Are you taking a poop where you're sitting?
I saw that I got a message from Neil and I was going to share with everybody, and then I just saw that he just sent me 2 dick pics. So.
Oh. Wow. He's sitting in that room. How did he send you that? Is this guy just going to get naked on camera right now? What is going on? Oh, man, I love that we just randomly streamed this game. I guess he's winning? Neil is literally to the left of the camera there, guys. So the Swedish guy there, that's Jimmy, who you can see. Daniel's in front of the camera to the right, who's out of frame right now. I don't know what Max is doing. He's just kind of walking around. And then Neil is to the left. Neil's the only dude drinking something without a glass because he's Neil. He's like, men don't drink out of glassware. So that's pretty funny.
So sometimes you gotta lose your train of thought there for a second. Okay, let's go back.
Yeah, no
Orcs.
worries. Orcs. Yeah, no, I'm really excited about the models. I mean, they look a little bit like Savage Orcs for AOS, so that makes me even more excited. I love some of the AOS range.
Do you think they're gonna bring back the Feral Orc line?
That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they really need to bring it back. I think just need to give rules to the AOS models, and we're good. Just put them on 40K bases, and I mean, they're already on 40K bases. And you just play with those.
Giant
The
squiggles
AOS
and riders and everything?
the AOS models are awesome for orcs. They're amazing. The squig line is amazing. The characters are amazing. The boys are amazing. Like it's all good across the board. So I mean, I'm totally cool with it. So I'm more excited about those I don't know what's the game? What's like the mini game? Like Night Haunt or something like that? I don't know what it is, but they're releasing these little box sets, Games Workshop, with like 5 or 6 models. And there's one with like it's not vampire counts, but it's like dudes on horses. Those guys look awesome. I'm gonna pick those guys up.
Dude, have you've seen all the Sisters of Cain and stuff like that? I think those are actually better than the Dark Eldar models right now.
Yeah, the Sisters of Cain stuff's really cool too. I saw
Super
that as
good.
well.
There's a lot of really good counts as. I want to bring that up today because I've gotten
I'm gonna
new
use counts as for
counts.
your incubi, by the way. I haven't decided on what yet, but I have to make incubi for you because I don't have those.
Yeah, I prefer a lot of cool counts as stuff, and sometimes I get people are very mixed about counts as. Even with the right, the right stuff and the right everything. I know that you're kind of on board. That's your jam, baby. I'm kind of curious as to what other people think and comments and everything as far as counts as armies.
Yeah, the way I like counts as when there's been a clear artistic, thematic push towards the count as thing, right? Like if it's very clear that this person put effort and thought behind what they're doing, I'm all about it. I was never a fan of like these Space Marines count as this other chat. I know they're red, but these count as white scars or like, like just randomly using models like for no reason, like just because those are the models you have. Never a fan of that. Always hated that, but big fan of like, I want to make a steampunk army and I want to convert all the models to be steampunky, but I want to use it as Tau. Cool. 100%. Like if they're all steampunky and they all look really cool, I mean, that would be awesome. Like your incubi are going to be thematic to like what your whole army will look like. So it's going to like all the colors and skews will all match and all stuff.
I'm really down with those kind of things. I've always been a huge fan of conversions and things of that nature. That was always my big deal because I was never super into painting or anything, but I did love army conversions and stuff like that. And people that come with really cool, creative type armies. I
Yeah.
remember the guy brought an entire Nurgle army, and he did it all from Skaven. And
Yeah.
made
Like
his
that kind of
dreadnoughts
stuff's
out
really
of
cool.
like
Yeah.
the monster rat wheels and stuff.
Yeah. I think he had like big like buckets, like wooden buckets with like goo and stuff in it for the gun. Like it went into the gun. I remember seeing that one for Skaven.
Yeah, it was super awesome.
Yeah, and as long obviously you have to have the right base size and the right like general size of the model, unless you want to go bigger, because bigger is always negative. So as long as the base size is accurate, I don't care if your model's bigger than it's supposed to be. That's fine. Like that's worse for you. So, but if it's smaller, that's a problem. Like if you're playing with the Avatar from 3rd edition, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
With that bullshit.
if it's the proper size, if it's the proper weapon, you know what I mean. You still want it to be WYSIWYG and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, biplane hoverboard would be awesome. But yeah, Skaven as for something else, I'm totally down with those kind of things, man. I think it adds.
Yeah,
a lot
AdMech would be cool.
My tournament, I actually prefer it in my tournament experience because I just like seeing cool and fun new things. I mean, it's just
Yeah, I saw the Karandros Overlords or whatever the hell they're called for AOS. They're like the guys with the blips, the giant biplanes, and like the little dwarfs, the mechanical dwarf guys. I saw an orc army with that. It was amazing. All of the trucks were like zeppelins. They were like like airboard trucks, and like all the orcs are hanging out at the bottom. I was like, oh my god, this army's amazing. So he had like 10 of those.
Skaven IG army. Yes, I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just a big fan of that. I just love because people take the time. Excuse me. People take the time and the effort on those kind of things. You know what I mean? I just love converted armies. I
Yeah,
think
me
they're
too.
super cool. And some people are super against them though. They just don't like anything except the.
I've always had positive
Action
feedback. I've always had positive feedback. We had an orc army where all of the models were converted to be like knob size. All the boys. It was like the beasts army, and like the war boss is big too. Like here's my war boss.
A guy I talked to actually redid his entire Blood Angels army, and redid them all in a Primaris scale because he didn't like the Marines being so small. So I like that a lot. There's
Yeah.
a lot of like mojo with just different stuff basically to, that I think is just cool, you know, and people should give it artistic. Oh, that looks badass, dude.
Yeah. He's huge. But he's in the right base. See? He's on 40 mil, but he's gigantic. He's like literally the size of a, like, he's bigger than a can. So, really big
He's
dude.
also buff.
Yeah, he's
He's
super
been
buff.
working out.
He's been working out. Yeah, clearly. So, but yeah, no, and I did the as you remember, I did the Gene Stealer cult Eldar army for Adepticon. That's like the last time I played in Adepticon singles, by the way. So it's been a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you're always so focused on the team tournament.
Yeah, that's the last time I played in the
Now
singles event.
when you started building the dynasty.
Yeah. Which got ruined by COVID, stupid COVID. Even if we were to win this next time, it would be like an asterisk because it's like 2 gap periods in between.
Well, I mean, technically,
me sad.
you're champion. You could put, 2016 and put the arrow until 2000.
be like 7 years Adepticon teams champion. Well, like 4 years are COVID. Yeah, whatever. Hopefully not, by the way. I hope
I'm doing that with. I'm the current ATC and Trios champion, so I'm just gonna say, yeah, man. We've had it for
ATC's
4
canceled.
years running.
Yeah, ATC's canceled. Yeah, that would have been our third if we ended up doing it. So,
what are your thoughts on ACO?
what the hell is ACO?
I don't know what that means. I have too bad of a headache to do any abbreviations right
ACO. I'm trying to think. Accustomed client operations or aeronautics certified operations or average covariance Oh, Atlantic City Open. Jesus Christ. We are stupid. I guess I'm stupid. I don't know. I've never heard anyone call it ACO. By the way, way too close to AOC for me. But anyways, Atlantic City Open, you monkeys. Got it. Okay, yeah, you are correct, sir. Our thoughts on it? It's going to be awesome. I don't know. Like, go there, don't get COVID, wear a mask, have fun.
They have, like, Pablo just, like, driving the entire store cross country.
Yeah, isn't it just LVO, but in Atlantic City? And now they're going to have an LVO in Dallas, too? Like, it's a 9-round GT 3-day event? That's what I thought it was. Isn't that what it is? I know the one in Dallas is for sure. They made an announcement.
Yeah, all of the ones they're running are big 3.
Yeah, like 9-day, 3-day events, 9 rounds, top 8s. I mean, it's gonna make it awesome, because like it sucks that the ITC in the past has been such a heavy weight. The year that I won the ITC, I was really worried that someone would win LVO and jump over me. So I had to actually like really perform that year and make top 8 and go far in top 8. And I was concerned because I was getting married. And I was like, man, like if I have to leave to get married and I lose, that would kind of suck. So I had to kind of make sure that the points weren't there. But now, since then, the LVO is even more of a big deal. Like in the last couple of years, like the year that
because it got so big.
Yeah, the year that Brad almost won, and then the year that Tony Grappando almost won, and then the year that Alex Harrison almost won, I guess, right? So that's correct, right? I think so. I think it's Alex Harrison versus Grant. Grant won. And then Grappando versus Nick. Nick won. And then you versus Richard Siegler. And Richard Siegler won. So those years, way bigger implication on points, right? I think Grappando lost the ITC, according to the ITC books, by less than a point.
Europe's also getting a bunch of larger events coming up here too, so they're going to start putting out just big events also.
Yeah, I mean, think about how we would feel. Yeah, put yourself in their perspective, right? Imagine if the winner of the ITC had to go to like 4 or 5 big events in Europe to do it, right? Like, because for a long time, the ITC, even though it is the world champion, kind of, right? I would argue the year that I won, it's not very much a representation of the world because, the big events were the ones I won or the ones I went to. It was like the boys, Adepticon, LVO, BAO, Nova. Like those are the big events that I got points in that year. And that's been the same since, right? I would say Matt Root's year, same thing. Nick Brown's year, same thing. Brandon Grant's here. Did Brandon Grant win the ITC? I don't even remember. I think so.
I don't think no.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
No,
Never mind.
He won against Root, but Root won the.
Yeah, but Root still won the ITC. Brandon Grant won LVO. Yeah. So I think it was Brandon Grant, Richard and Siegler's year, same thing. The main events were here. I mean, London Open for sure, but all the main events have been here. So, I think European players would feel obligated to come to the United States to play.
Yeah, you see a lot of people that were traveling just because of that. I mean, especially at LVO. You see a lot of international travelers at LVO just because of the event. I mean, it's a good event, period, but also if you're looking to get an ITC win, you just need a placing at LVO because of the fact that it was rated and ranked weighted so heavily because of the number of people there.
Exactly, yeah. But if you want really good games and really good competition, don't go to Sweden because they just spend all their time drinking wine and playing board games and like just doing nonsense. Like they're not 40K players whatsoever. They're just like, just chill dudes. If you want to have a good time, go to Sweden. If you want to get better at 40K, avoid Sweden.
Yeah, Jimmy just gave you. I got one thumbs up and one bird.
You got one thumbs up.
ITC season, I think, will come back next year. I still don't think that it's real this year because we still don't have a full season. There's too many. Events
I think what I would do is I would argue that if ITC does do the ACO, is that what it was? Atlantic City Open. Yeah, the ACO. I gotta embrace this terrible acronym. It does not.
Can we call it the ACO?
It does not roll off the tongue. I understand LVO is the exact same concept, but it does not roll off the tongue. So if they do the Atlantic City Open, they do the Dallas event. These are like multiple 9-round GTs now that are replacing Adepticon, replacing Nova. I would argue the year is pretty good. If you still get Michigan, you still get Renegade, you still get Flying Monkey, you still get the East Coast events that they usually have, like Battle of Salvation and all those, so, and then you get these new ones.
My only issue is that what about people, especially. I mean, when I think about myself on this, I'm pushing the envelope a little bit, but like, I just haven't gone to like things that I could have gone to specifically because there's still COVID out there.
So I mean, you gotta take it. This is how I would phrase it, Brad. The winner of the ITC the winner of the ITC for 2021, 2022, the crown champion in January, I would say deserves it. That's an ITC win. Now, would you argue that some people couldn't make it? I think you can argue that every year, right? Like the year I won, Ben Moley had a kid. Ben Moley's better than me, right? And maybe the year I won, you were not taking it as seriously, right? I think that's pretty true, right? You weren't taking it as seriously that year.
No.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's always people who are really good at the game who are not in, not out. Like this year, I'm going to have a kid this year, so I'm not involved in the process either, so.
Yeah, I mean, he's right. I mean, Rose and Pamps are both semi-retired. That's true.
Yeah, Rose is making a company, now. He's doing his own thing on the side, Pamps? Yeah, I don't know why we're talking about Pamps. I like riding Pamps. It's so much fun.
But yeah, man, there's a lot to be said for.
But there's a lot of new people though.
There's going to be enough. There's going to be enough.
I think there's going to be enough. Yeah, I'd love to see someone from outside of the United States challenge it. I think that'd be awesome. I don't think that's really been the case ever. Last year is not an ITC year, so anyone who wants to bring up last year was total bullshit. But I think this year's a solid year. I think the frontline should give whoever wins the check this year. If they didn't, I assume they didn't do that last year.
Oh, they didn't even. I don't think we had a season at all last year.
Yeah.
So, but I do think that we have it. This year should feel legitimate. I'll give you that. We're having enough big events. More events are starting to happen. Yeah, I think this year's
legit. I think this year's a legit winner for sure. Yeah, and who am I to even decide that? But that's my opinion. My opinion is this year is a legit winner.
Looking at it, we're gonna have 3/4 to 2/3 to 3/4 of a real year. So I guess it's still a real year.
No, I think, but I think, Brad, they're gonna supplement with all these other events that never happened before, right? Atlantic City's a brand new event. I never heard of a 9-round event in Dallas either. That's a brand new thing too. That's big, like and if there's more, yeah, if the New Orleans one, I heard there's an event in New Orleans as well on Bourbon Street somewhere. I don't know if it's on Bourbon Street. Probably not on Bourbon Street, but somewhere in New Orleans. So I mean, and then if there's additional tournaments, Yeah, that's funny. Like right on the street in the middle of like the summer heat.
I would literally for sure get a parade because you can buy parades there, and I would just walk right through the tournament.
I would buy you a parade. No, I think it's going to be I think they're supplementing with new events, and it sounds really good. I mean, my only concern is like, new strands of COVID shutting stuff down. That would be the only thing that could stop it, really. So.
Yeah, I'm just, for me, it's just weird because of the fact that it could be full on. I mean, we could have more tournaments than we've ever had because, people are putting in stuff on. There's new tournaments popping up. There's new huge tournaments that are popping up from Frontline Gaming. So, yeah, this could be one of the best seasons ever, coming from the ashes, rising from the ashes, like the Phoenix.
Yeah, I would agree.
For sure. But, yeah, it just seems weird because of the fact that we were just completely super locked down for the beginning of the year. And then, boom, stuff started happening.
Yep. I think Daniel's losing in the game right now, or at least Daniel has a different impression of something than someone else because he's like stroking his beard a lot, moving his head a lot. He's doing like a lot of gestures. I'm looking into this. It would definitely
be legit to try and learn how to play again. Yes.
Yeah, look at Daniel. He's like, I'm trying to explain to you that this is what I was trying to do, not that, And he's trying to talk someone into something right now, It's one of those board games where you got to convince someone else to do your bidding. Don't listen to Daniel. He's tricking you. It's a lie. It's a lie. Get out of there, Neil. Get out of there. Run out of there, Neil. He's lying to you 100%. Don't listen to his hand motions. He got that from the Italians.
Ooh, I actually like this topic. Kurt Claus coming in with new topic, favorite country to play against at ETC. He chooses the Aussies. I did love playing against the Aussies. They're a bunch of psychos, and I love it.
I've never had the privilege to play against the Aussies because I'm not good at 40K anymore.
I almost had Gagno dive in front of me because the Aussie, I was ready to start the pairings, and it's round 6. We had just taken a loss, so we're just like, fuck it. Everybody was like, whatever now. And we go to the Aussies, and I go, we're talking about pairings and stuff, and they said something about, not looking at what you do. And I go, how about this? We shuffle both decks and just slap them down, and just whoever plays.
They're like, fuck it, mate. Let's do it.
And they literally were like, yes. And Gandhi was like, no. Action movie star in me. I was like, yes, this is happening.
This was the last time you were there?
Now this is, that was
must have been 2 years ago. Then 2 years before, second year.
There was the year before. I don't know. One of the years. They all blend together to me.
Best country for me was probably the UK, but probably the Age of Sigmar year. To be honest, like that was my most favorite team to play. They were the most competitive team, and we had a lot of fun like in every single game. So the UK team was awesome for AOS. For 40K, my favorite round pairing was probably still the Russia pairing with Greg, just because it's hilarious. That was the best pairing ever. Or the French pairing with Ben Moley when he stood on top of impassable terrain and kept douche canoeing people.
Like just doing flyover attacks.
Yeah, that was really cool. Sweden's always good to play. That's why we're friends with Daniel and them, because Sweden's awesome to play. So I would say Sweden probably overall, like in like actual good gameplay, Sweden. So
I still the Sparks Russian story is.
But I think ETC overall got a lot better when Neil got involved, right? Like 2012, 2013, and 14 are like the years I was there, and I think the play changed significantly, like 16, 17, 18.
Being giant douche canoes to each other.
Yeah. Because like I remember playing Ukraine, having problems with Ukraine. I remember playing
that wine glass is for sure gonna tip. By the way,
no, it's not. That wine glass is embracing the power of the Force. I think if everyone watching, the collective community all reaches out to their screen right now and like wills the wine glass to fall, maybe it'll happen. Dude, what if it did actually just fall right now? That'd be scary.
The power of the internet.
I would be like, oh my God, what is happening?
I think like a lot of teams actually up their game as far as being good players and being better sportsmanship as time went on too.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that too. Yeah, I would definitely, because I remember France we had problems with. We had problems with Poland. Oh no, Poland was great actually. Poland and Germany were awesome.
No, Poland started bad and then they got good. Those are one of the games that are most improved.
I actually love old Poland too. Screw that. No, I love old Poland.
Screw that.
No, screw your comment there. Old
They were
Poland was
like
awesome.
half awesome.
No,
They were
Old
half
Poland was
awesome.
awesome because they were like open about it. You know, Scari's like, oh, you can't see that. I'm like, oh, okay, I can't see that. I'm like, well, it looks like I can see it from my side. He's like, no, you can't see. You have no line of sight. I'm like, all right, Scary, I'm gonna come to your side of the board and check it out. I take a step. Scari's like, no, stop. You can see it. I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead. I just look at him. I'm like, I like you. I like you a lot. And then he's moving his model. I'm like, how far do they move? He's like 6. I'm like, well, you moved him 7. He's like, oh, okay. He puts him back an inch. I'm like, I like you.
I don't like that at all.
It's the old school. It's like it was old school 40K. I liked it. It was fun.
You mean before it got good? Got
Yeah.
it.
I just had to keep him honest on everything he did. So it was fun. It's a good time.
Oh God.
He was good, man. He whipped my butt. He was a good player. He's
very
still a good player. Those guys are all good players, man. They play so much. They get in so many games. I mean, I remember talking to them about prep for getting to ETC, and they're like, yeah, we all rent like a cabin, and we play like 100 games each just before we get here.
For like 2 weeks, man.
And I'm like,
It was nuts.
I don't know if I played 100 games this year, guys. like you guys are gonna wreck me. So it was pretty awesome experience. So they were always a fun country.
Favorite team, favorite place. What's a favorite place?
I mean, the trip before the place.
Yeah, the trip before
Yeah,
is
any trip before going to ETC is my favorite place. I can't even think of the venues. Actually, they're all like Serbia. No, like sorry, no. Latest version of Serbia though
was so much better,
bro. Keep it up. Like
Also, I love
amazing
the
city.
fucking detective fucking pajama pants. So we're on a bus ride from the airport to the actual event in Serbia, and everything looks like a million times nicer. So Alan just sits down next to a dude that only speaks Serbian, and for an hour
It was the
basically
bus driver.
gets the entire socioeconomic fucking spectrum of the country,
Yeah,
everything that's happening. I'm like, what the fuck, reporter? Like
he liked politics. He was a big politics guy, and I'm like, I'm interested in what you have to say. So he just told me about all the political problems and how the money gets there and how it's spent and who spends it and what group is like challenging for power and what's the other group, what group he likes, what group he doesn't like. So he's literally talked to me for like an hour and a half about everything.
Also, much props, Serbia. You came from the scariest place I had ever been to a very nice place. So
Yeah, he started at the bottom.
Props. Very
Now
much
you
props.
on top.
I didn't think I was going to die even once there. So
Yeah, and you died multiple times the last time you were there. So like 4 years before. I think did their camera freeze? I don't see them moving. No, what happened?
no.
Damn it, not cool.
We
Not cool,
lost.
guys.
So I guess at that point in time, we're gonna have to dance our way out. This is a tragedy.
All
Great
right.
tragedy.
Take it easy, guys.